Today I wanted to talk to you about something that many of you are holding on to secretly, quietly, and that is resentment. Resentment, or holding a grudge. It's something that we assume is keeping us safe, or we think that we have to hold this resentment towards somebody because it holds them accountable. And in the end, it's really just hurting us. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I'm Coach Corey Sartori, and I get to help high-achieving women design their dream life so they can live with more wealth and joy. I have seen this come up with clients, with friends, with people in my life recently, where they've shared anger or resentment towards somebody from their past. And I can tell that they're letting this past experience ruin their life. And so if this resonates with you, if you have resentment or a grudge towards somebody, I want you to listen to this. I want you to connect to this because it's only hurting you. So what is resentment really? Like, really, it's unspoken pain. It's that anger, and it's in your body. Like, for me, I could feel it in my chest and in my gut. It was just so much for me. It was so much anger, and you might feel a different emotion or energy with it. But when I was holding on to resentment, it was anger, and that's such a low vibration. It's such low energy, and it kept me stuck. And so we carry this resentment because we think it's protecting us, and it's really just hurting this. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to think about, in your life, who are you still angry with? Is it somebody from your childhood? Is it somebody at work? Is it an ex? Who are you still angry with? And I've seen a lot lately, people that are still angry with their parents. They're still angry with an ex. And I can see that anger is just sucking the life out of them, the joy. It's not inside of them because they're spending their days living in past resentment. They're so mad at somebody from their past that is not even thinking about them, and it's ruining their every single day life. So who are you still angry with? Think about this. And then I want you to think about, what is the story that you're replaying over and over and over? So we think that holding on to this is helping us, but it doesn't work. Holding on to that negative energy is hurting you. You're not punishing somebody when you hold this grudge, right? You're punishing yourself. And if this connects with you, please drop a heart emoji or something that feels good to you, because I want to connect. I want to see if this is resonating with my community. So when you're holding on to that resentment, you're not moving on. Even if you're remarried, or you have a new partner, or you think you've forgiven your parents, if there's still resentment and anger in your chest, you're staying stuck in that story, that past, and you're not allowing yourself to be free and fully step into your power. So forgiveness is really about, it's not about letting them off the hook. Like, when I tell people, I'm like, okay, well, the way to heal is to forgive and to let go. I say this because it is the truth, and some people think that if they forgive, then it lets that other person off the hook. But it's not about that. It's about unhooking you from that pain. So let me quickly share my story around this. So I ended in probably 11-year toxic codependent relationship back in 2012. And I was so mad at him because he was active in drug and alcohol abuse, and he had done some things that really hurt me. And I still got back with him after some things, but I had so much anger and resentment in my heart that I couldn't actually be in the relationship, and so I ended again. And after it ended again, right, in that 2012 period, I just kept carrying anger and resentment. I had so much blame. It's his fault. He was the addict. Even though I was a total enabler, I made everything his fault. Nothing was my fault. And so I just carried around anger and resentment. And I did that for years, and he had moved on. He had gone and gotten sober. He had found a new partner. He had a new relationship. He had a new life. But I was sitting in this constant negativity, this constant anger towards him, right? It was affecting my everyday life. It was affecting My dating life, I wasn't able to connect or find anybody new because I was still so angry and had so much hate in my heart towards him. And I went to a seminar in 2015. So this is years after, okay? We broke up in summer of 2012. This is fall of 2015. I go to a seminar, and I'd been doing self-development already at this point for years, but I was still holding on to that anger. I was still holding on to that resentment, and it was keeping me stuck. So I went to this seminar, and this woman was sharing about forgiveness, but she was talking about self-forgiveness, like forgiving yourself for mistakes. But in that moment, I realized, like, I never forgave my ex. I was holding on to that. Like, I needed to forgive myself for allowing me to be in that situation, but I also needed to forgive them because it was hurting me and holding me back. And so that day I texted them and said, can we meet up? I would like to talk to you. And a couple days later, we were sitting down in front of each other after not seeing each other for years. And I said, I'm sorry for who I was in the relationship, and I forgive you for who you were in that relationship. And he tried to say, no, let me take fault. And I was like, no, like, I sucked and I made some wrong decisions, but also I want to forgive you because I don't want to carry that anymore. And walking away from that conversation of forgiving my ex was the best feeling. Like, you've heard people say, like, when you forgive, you feel lighter. Like, that is legit the truth. Like, I felt walking away from that conversation so light and so free and so joyful. I was smiling, like the energy in my body was amazing because I chose to forgive, because I chose to stop letting something that had happened years ago hurt me and hold me back. And when I did that forgiveness work and I started moving forward, that's when my life started to take off. That's when I found my forever partner. That's when I finally quit my job and I started my life coaching business. It's when I just started stepping into my truth because I stopped letting anger and resentment and hate hold me back and keep me stuck. So maybe somebody in your life, maybe it's not an ex, maybe it's not, a relationship, but maybe it was somebody at work and you're holding on to resentment. That resentment is only hurting you. Like, that resentment I carried hurt me for years. And even though I was doing all the work and all the right things, I still wasn't letting go of that anger and resentment, and it kept me stuck and it kept me unhappy. And once I released it, like, the light that was inside of me after that conversation, how joyful I felt in my heart space was amazing. And so I want to ask you, like, what would it feel like if you chose to stop carrying that grudge? What would it feel like if you chose to stop having resentment and anger towards your past? Because if you're living the past over and over and over, you are creating that for your future. So even if you have a new relationship, if you're living in that negativity of your past relationship, that's what you're taking into your future relationship. So you can't keep living in the past. You have to stop wasting your energy on somebody else, and you need to put that energy. And so here's the thing: when you forgive, you do not need to tell somebody you forgive them. You don't need to call them. You don't need to meet with them like I did. You need to forgive them for you. So that can be, maybe you write a letter and you burn it. Maybe it's you sit in meditation. Maybe you do a chant. Maybe you do whatever you need to do to forgive so you can move on for you, so you can start healing you. This is the work I do. This is what I get to do with women. I get to help them transform their lives. I get to help them heal, forgive, and become the person they were meant to be before the world destroyed so many pieces of them. I want to help you put those back together. You are magical and you are amazing, and I'm so grateful that I get to help women step into their power. So if you want to heal, grow, and let go of the past so you can become the person you're meant to be, I want you to comment Goddess below. I have 4 spots open for the Goddess Glow Up Academy. And in this academy, we are going to heal. We're going to forgive. We're going to stop letting our past predict our future. I've been doing this work for so many years. I've been a coach for 9 years. I'm so grateful I have the opportunity to help women. And so I want to help you. If resentment, anger, a grudge has been holding you back, this is the sign to do something different, to comment Goddess, so you can start moving forward, so you can start healing, and so you can become the person you're meant to be. So I hope you found value in this. I hope you choose to let go of your resentment and anger. I hope you choose to forgive. Forgiveness is so powerful. It has absolutely changed my life. I would not have the life I have today if I didn't choose to forgive my past. So I encourage you, forgive. I know you won't forget, but forgiveness will help you become the person you're meant to be. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my community. And I look forward to connecting soon.